guys, we're back for another exciting episode of the Hashtag Wednesday Match Play, and I'm really excited for today's guest for a couple of reasons. One, I've heard nothing but good things about the quality of work that this guy does, and then I see the work, and it blows me away. This guy is a golf course photographer. I've met several, and I just am so impressed by what they're able to do with a camera that my iPhone doesn't do. I don't know, the new iPhones are coming out soon, so I might be able to, step up my game. But tonight we're going to talk about golf course photography. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, but before we do, if you're watching at home, make sure you click the subscribe button down below, but do one more thing for me. Click the notifications, because if you just subscribe, you're not going to know when these videos are launched. So if you turn on notifications, you'll get an email every time one of these is released every Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. So make sure you click subscribe, turn on the notifications. If you don't want to see us, that's fine. We understand. Subscribe on iTunes and Google Play. This is in podcast format as well. So regardless of where you're looking for it, it's easy to find this show. This show is also presented by Eat Sleep Golf and a part of the Golf Radio Network. You know this shirt if you've seen this show in the past. Very excited about some of the stuff that we're doing over there and that Gabrielle Aloisi is doing. So we got a lot of really fun stuff happening with the Golf Radio Network. But enough about that. Let's jump into tonight's guest. I'm not even going to begin to explain what he does, besides the fact that he takes pictures. So, Evan, welcome to the Hashtag Wednesday Match Play. Tell us more about who you are, what you do, and let's start talking photography.
Yeah, thank you, Ricky. Really great to be on the show. Wow. Okay, so obviously I photograph golf courses, and for private courses, resort, daily fees. Actually, all around the world, mostly in the United States, Canada, the Caribbean, Europe, made some trips to Asia. So that's what I do to people. I photograph the courses. I use it generally for their marketing, collateral, website, all that kind of material. So it's been a great career. It's been a lot of fun. I mean, I've been in golf my whole life. I actually played tournament golf. I started as a junior. I played junior golf, then I turned pro. I played professional tournaments, tournament golf in college, pro. I worked at a few clubs, and then decided that wasn't the route I wanted to take. And so I got into golf course photography, which I had been doing for fun, and then I just turned it into a business.
That's really cool. So when I ask some of these questions a little bit later, most of it's photography related, especially on the back nine. I even ask some questions that aren't typical for the back nine, but I have a couple of golf questions in there. So it's good to know that you play golf, because you could be, just a guy that takes pictures and doesn't even play golf. So I'm glad that that's not the case.
Yeah, no, I've been around golf my whole life.
Now, what does a typical project look like for you from the time that it's booked till the time that it's completed? So let's say that I said right now, hey, let's have you come down in February and shoot Tiburon Golf Club in Naples. What's the start to finish look like for a project? And are you working on multiple projects at a time? Kind of what's that workflow look like for you?
Yeah. Well, typically the golf course will contact me, the private course or resort, and it's generally the director of marketing. Sometimes it's the head professional, sometimes it's the membership person, sometimes it's the GM of the golf course. And, we have a conversation about what they want. They usually want photography, but then I get more specific about exactly what they want, whether they want all 18 holes, whether they want a nice selection they can use for, their marketing materials. And then, it kind of goes into the scheduling phase. Well, we usually schedule a week or days. Generally when I just got back from a 2-week trip. I was out in Missouri at Big Cedar Lodge. They have a new Coore & Crenshaw course, Ozarks National. I was just there. It actually hasn't opened yet. And I usually, I'll come in for 2 or 3, maybe 4 days. I usually leave a cushion of a day just in case there's weather. But a lot of after the shoot is scheduled, send a contract, have the contract signed, require a deposit. Then I get in touch with the superintendent, because once the whole thing is scheduled and once I'm on the property, they're the most important thing. They're the most important person of coordinating, in the morning, prepping the course, just so, we're not stepping on each other's toes. And for instance, I don't go out in the morning and there's a hole I want to shoot and his guys are all over there and they've pull the hole and they've driven all over it and there's tracks in the dew, which doesn't make good shots. So coordinating with the superintendent after the thing is scheduled is big. After the shoot is done, I come back here like I've been doing today and yesterday, editing, post-production, editing photos, color correcting, retouching stuff. And then I send it back to the client. So
now I will sometimes put
from beginning to end.
I'll sometimes put an HDR filter on my pictures, and people say that that's not fair. That's a filter. It's HDR. That's not a filter. Like, can you back me up here? Like, am I winning this argument?
Sure, I don't, but okay, I get it.
I'm gonna let her know. That's basically, she's the one that thinks that I'm cheating when I'm putting an HDR filter on it, and I still say #NoFilter. So it's okay. I call it a photo treatment. I'm taking photos on an iPhone. I'm not a pro like you.
That's different. I get
now,
it.
what's your travel schedule look like? I mean, you're traveling all over the place. It sounds like you're all over the world. Like, I mean, you flying first class, or
No.
what's your travel schedule look like?
No. Well, yeah, like I said, I just got back. I was away 2 weeks. I was in Missouri at Big Cedar at Ozarks National. Then I was up at Sand Valley in Wisconsin actually it turned out a week because I got delayed. Had to spend 3 extra days because of the weather. Before that, I was out actually in the Midwest. I was in Chicago and Michigan for 2.5 weeks. I'm home for a couple of weeks. I got a couple local stuff. Then the beginning of October, I'm going out to Arkansas to the Alotian Club, and then driving to Alabama to do a shoot there, and then back home, and then out the door again.
So you're busy, is what you're saying.
Yeah, pretty much. It's pretty full, pretty booked until end of November at this point.
That's awesome. Well, and our season's just starting right around then, so who knows?
So
we can't figure out when to get you down here.
There's stuff in the hopper in the south, out west, and down south. So it generally stays busy pretty year round, maybe with the exception of January, February, maybe.
That's the best time to come see Tiburon. I mean, maybe we'll give you something to do.
There you go.
I'll put in a good word. We'll see what we can do.
Good.
So what's the most memorable project you've ever worked on?
Wow. That's a tough one. Let's see. Well, I remember one. I got a call from Augusta to shoot the course. Oh, this is probably, I want to say 8 years ago. Shoot the course right before the Masters, and then shoot the tournament. So that was fun. Getting the call from Augusta was kind of nice. Well, there's been so many. I mean, I can tell you, I love to go to Ireland and Scotland to shoot there. Those are always, I always love going to those places. I mean, any course there, I just love shooting. I'm trying to think of something that I've done recently. And I was out in Bandon Dunes in May, and that's a pretty spectacular place.
You said Augusta is where this conversation started. That could have been the end of the conversation right there. Augusta, next question. That's fantastic. Now, you recently started incorporating drones, which are awesome. My friend Michael, who speaking of Ireland and Scotland, last year I met him and we played together in Scotland. This year I met him and we played together in Ireland. So it's funny enough that he's now obsessed with drones. And he's so much to the point that he gets told no when we go to places. We were actually at a castle in Northern Ireland, and somebody comes out and they're like, "Is that your drone?" And he's already got 20 shots. Like, he doesn't need it to be up there anymore. She's like, "Land that now." And I'm like, just laughing to myself, knowing that he got the shots that he did before they realized who it was. But so tell us a little bit about what you're doing with drones and kind of what the shift in drone photography has looked like for you in just the last even year and a half.
Well, it's been, they keep getting better. And, when they first came out, there's been people flying drones for a while now that they built their own and they'd mount a camera on it, a Sony or Panasonic camera on a drone. But then, DJI and some of the other companies came out with these all-in-one drones. And the cameras and the video has been improving ever since. And it's been literally a game changer because you can shoot both stills and videos from the same machine. And, I'm probably on my 5th or 6th one now because they keep coming out with better ones and upgrading the cameras. So it's just been, like I said, it's been a real game changer because of that. Where in the past you'd have to use a helicopter, which is kind of hard to fly low. I mean, or you'd have to use a lift, and the lifts, although great, hard to get around, because you have to hook it up to a truck, drag it around. You can't always position it where you want to. So having a drone's just been, it's opened up a whole new world, and actually allows you to see a golf course completely different. Like you see stuff and I could shoot that. Whereas before you'd kind of imagine, that would be nice, but.
So speaking of drone selfies, I don't know about these, and you're gonna have to tell me. So Scott from Eat Sleep Golf sent in a few questions, and he said, "I love the drone selfie videos," and then I stopped reading, and I immediately wanted to know more. So tell me a little about those. But then, are you also seeing the use of video being more and more important? I think we're seeing that with social media, especially Facebook and Twitter, kind of delivering that content to us more frequently. But tell me about the selfies, and what are your thoughts on video, and if you're looking to do more of that in the future?
Well, drone selfie is just kind of a fun thing. I sometimes I surf on YouTube just looking at different videos and seeing what people are doing with drones, and just some of the techniques they use, and filming different angles, different movements, just to get ideas. And then I saw a couple of guys doing these drone selfies. They're standing. This one I happened to see, a guy was standing on a cliff, and he had the drone right in front of him. And you'd never know he was on a cliff or where he was, because he was so close up. And then he starts to fly the drone away from him, and it opens up the scene, and you see that he's standing on this rock in the middle, like just on this perch on the rock. And this is a spectacular place. So I just thought it was cool.
That is cool.
So I just, they're kind of fun. I've done a few here and there at some spots that I thought warranted it. And yes, a lot of golf courses, a lot of jobs now are asking to do video as well as stills. Like this next shoot I have coming up, it's going to be, I've got to shoot the whole golf course, stills and video. They want both. So you do flyovers of all the holes, or, maybe some creative, not just straight tee to green all the time, but maybe some creative movements or stuff to make it interesting.
Very cool.
Actually, it's fun. It's a lot of fun flying it.
Now, social media, we talked about that briefly. That's even more now than ever is an important part of the marketing campaign strategy for anybody, let alone for somebody in your shoes. What sort of social media work are you doing, and what's your favorite network to kind of play on?
I've tended to gravitate towards Instagram and Twitter. Those seem to be the best bang for my buck and for what I do. I use Facebook and LinkedIn as well, but those are the four major ones. But I think most of my posts are on Instagram and Facebook. And yeah, it's almost, given what I do, you have to do it, especially Instagram. Instagram is great. It's basically like having an online gallery. And I've had a lot of business come because of it.
That's cool. I do what's called latergram. So I take so many pictures, and I'm a big advocate of literally throwing up hashtags all over a post. And I would rather, I don't know, I'm obsessed with Twitter, right? Google Plus, with the Google Plus golf community, and
right.
LinkedIn I'm into. So literally today, I posted a picture from our trip to Ireland that was about a month ago, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to go on my next vacation before I get caught up on the current vacation, because I take a lot of pictures. So it's funny though, because I'll post pictures and people will text me like, "Oh my God, are you in Ireland right now?" And I'm like, "Nope, no, there over the summer, no big deal." Hashtag. I should start using hashtag latergram like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that starting now. So
they don't really know.
They don't know. And I talk about it like it's happening. Like today, I posted one from a picture from the Guinness Storehouse. And I'm like, just showed up at the Guinness Storehouse, so excited to be here. And people are like, they don't know that I'm there, that I'm not there. I mean, it's fantastic for me because I'm finally getting around to posting pictures from 3 months ago. So you mentioned Augusta. That's probably about the answer to this question. But what's the dream project? I mean, you've shot Augusta National. So I mean, where else do you go? I mean, wink, wink, Tiburon Golf Club. But what's the dream project for you that you've not had the chance to do yet?
Uh, I want to go to Australia, New Zealand.
And you haven't done that?
Nope.
No kidding.
Yeah, that's where I really want. That's where I really want to go. There's a couple courses I'd love to shoot at some point, but that's where I'd like to go.
I mean, I'm assuming you've shot St. Andrews. I mean, that's silly to think that you haven't, right?
Yeah, I haven't been there in a while, but yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, I was actually surprised when I saw it how small an area the golf course is on.
Right there.
It was just like you could almost throw a ball from one side to the other. That strip, after you make the turn of one, and you go down, it was mind blowing that this is it.
Did you play the course as well?
Yeah.
So I played it last fall. I'm standing on the first tee, and not only you don't ever realize that literally 150 yards to your right is water and a beach,
Yep.
and 14 feet behind you is the RNA. And I'm not kidding. It's right freaking there. It's right behind you. And you're right though. And it's so compact. And we're playing. We didn't have a caddy because I played with a member. And we're playing, and I'm walking down the fairway, and literally 40 yards to my right is another foursome. And I'm like, what hole's that? He's like, oh, that's not even this course. And he started talking about another. I'm like, yeah, another course. He's like, oh yeah, there's 6 courses right here.
Oh yeah.
Just bananas how compact it is. And then 18T, I mean, are you kidding me? You got to go 80 yards left just to make sure you don't go 4 yards right, because if you do, you're hitting a car or a building because you're right on the road.
You know that a guy who at one point won the Open, not at St. Andrews, I don't think he won at St. Andrews, hit it out of bounds on the first hole.
No way. That's such a bad shot because there's a lot of room on the first hole.
I don't even want to say who it was, but he hit it out of bounds.
After we go off air, tell me, because I want to know now. Because
he hit it out of bounds to the left, I think.
I went pretty far left, not super. I mean, there's trouble right. I hit driver down the left side. It was like 7:30 in the morning, and it was 12 degrees. It was so cold. It was windy and miserable. I couldn't feel my hands. I hadn't hit a ball all day because there's no range. And I hit 7-iron in the middle of the green, 2-putted par. I'm good. But I cannot imagine going that much. That's like that would impress Tiger how far left that is. Yeah, don't tell me until we're off air.
Okay.
You've taken a lot of photos, obviously. I mean, every shoot's got to have thousands of photos that you take. Is there a single photo out of all that you've done that's your favorite?
Oh, wow. I don't know if there's a single favorite. There's probably a group of them. Yeah, there's a handful of them. Actually, there was one that I got this past May at Bandon Dunes, actually on Bandon Dunes, the Bandon Dunes golf course. It was of the 5th hole is a par 4. This great, maybe one of the best holes on the property of all the courses. Runs along the water with the cliffs, and it was this foggy, misty, overcast morning, and I was out there, hoping for some sun. Which, I mean, I go out if it's raining, just in hopes that maybe the sun will break through for a few minutes or something. And I'm hanging out on the 5th hole, and I'm thinking, well, it looks like the sun might break through a little bit, and it broke through for literally 30 seconds. And I happened to have, I was literally had the drone up in the air, just hovering there. But if I had to wait and take it off, if I waited for the sun and then took it off, I would have missed it. And so I was able to get off a couple of shots of the 5th hole, and the gorse was blooming. The gorse was blooming on the cliff, and there was this mist kind of going over the side of the cliff, and it was foggy in the back, cloudy in the background. It was a wild picture. That was probably one of my favorite of all time. The remote favorite, most recent.
That's awesome. Now, a lot of these companies do a top 100 list, right? You've got I'm a big fan of electronic dance music, and DJ Mag does a top 100 DJs list. I'd love to see you've got enough photos, do a top 100 photos list. That'd be fun.
Okay.
That would be really fun. That'd be a good blog post. It'd take a long time for you to go through and comb through all of your photos, but That could be a fun little project. Not that I just gave you homework or anything.
You can have people vote on it.
I love it. That's what DJ Mag does.
Yes.
Okay, so you have a store on your website. Talk a little bit about that. What can people buy there?
They can buy prints of, various. It's still in process. I'm still adding content to it, which, as you know, takes a while. But it's up. They can buy prints. They can also buy metal prints. Right now, you can buy regular photographic prints anywhere from 16 by 20 up to 30 by 40. Metal prints, which are kind of I've really grown to love over the last few years. All your favorite golf courses: Bandon, Pebble Beach, Ireland, Scotland, and there's going to be more added. I'm going to keep adding as I go. There's probably 120 selections right now.
Do you limit that? I mean, is it 1 out of 500 or 1,000, or do you just unlimited?
I don't know that with this people really are that concerned with that. Maybe some, but I haven't.
The only reason I asked that, so Graham Baxter, who is an artist who does what you do, but he paints instead of takes photos. And if you've not seen his work,
yes, I know.
Like, he is a just wicked good artist. He actually is he's painting Justify the horse. I just saw a photo a couple of days ago. He was meeting Justify for the first time, and I'm like, that's pretty cool, right? And he and I have met through Twitter, and then he's been to Tiburon a couple of times. He knew that I was playing St. Andrews last year. He came, I don't even know, a few months ago, and we were talking about it. He wants to paint a picture of Tiburon, which I wish I had the budget to be able to afford that. And he gifted me a print from one of the paintings that he had painted at St. Andrews, and it was like 1 out of 500, and it wasn't number one, but at the same time, that's cool that he handwrites everything, he signs every piece, and that's neat.
Very cool.
Now, I didn't tell you before we went live, this would fly by, and I feel like we just started, and we're already halfway done. Like, we did all the business stuff, right? Like, It's time to have some fun on the back nine, but I told you before we went live, most of these questions on the back nine are about photos and cameras, so I hope you're ready for that. But are you ready for your back nine?
Here, I'm ready.
Cool. How many cameras do you own? See, I told you.
Wow. It's going to have a second to count here.
I have one, if that helps at all.
You can go to include drones. Drone,
yes.
I guess include a drone as a camera.
I do. You're going to say a number that's absurd.
Well, I have cameras that I haven't used in years. I mean, if you want to talk about cameras that are in circulation.
No, cameras total. How many cameras do you own? Estimate, because obviously you're not going to know.
Probably 15.
That's not as high as I thought. I honestly thought you would say like.
I've gotten rid of a few.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say like 105.
No, probably 15. I've gotten rid of some.
Now, drones can count here, but what's the most you've ever spent on a camera?
25,000.
What? My car was half that. Oh my God, I'm glad I'm sitting down because I would have fallen over. Now, okay, what in the world does a $25,000 camera do that a $400 camera can't?
It's a Hasselblad, and
what does that mean? We don't know.
It's a medium format camera. Has it's just superior lenses, superior glass. It's one of the top of the line cameras.
I hope it's top of the line. It's $25,000.
They've come down in price. Not that much anymore, but
unless it's $180, it's out of my budget. I'm sorry. That's crazy.
Well, sorry. I should say that's lens and camera.
Oh, that totally changes it.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Lens and camera. That's the whole package.
Now, I hope the answer is not yes, but has any of your equipment ever been stolen in transit?
I'm sorry, stolen?
Has any of your equipment been stolen or damaged in transit?
Only never been stolen. Once the drone was damaged. There's these little plastic things where you hook on the props, and 3 of the 4 got broken. I have no idea how. I think somebody took it out and dropped it or did it intentionally. But that's the only time. Other than that, everything's been, never had an issue.
Well, that's good. Now, like I said, I use my iPhone camera. Do you have an iPhone? I mean, are you
Yeah.
using your iPhone camera a lot, or I mean, the quality of the camera is incredible.
Some great pictures. Yeah, yeah.
I
Yep.
use portrait mode. I got to admit, I'm cheating a little bit. I use the portrait mode a lot.
Okay, that's all right.
So what's a camera? I mean, a $25,000 camera is not a part of this. What's a $300, $500 camera doing better than what this is doing?
It's probably, it's got a better sensor. It's got better. It's probably got a better sensor, and it's probably got better. It's got better glass, meaning lenses. You can have an average camera, but if you put good glass on it, meaning good lenses, it can make all the difference. Versus had a really good camera and crappy glass.
So an iPhone, I get it. It's the best I got right now. The new iPhones are coming out. I'm got my eyes on the Max. I might try and see what that looks like. It looks pretty good. So now you said that you played St. Andrews. Do you typically play the courses that you shoot? And if you tell me you played Augusta, I'm gonna be sad.
Yes, I have played Augusta, and I.
Of course
Yes, generally I play the courses that I shoot. Not all the time, but generally.
Could you theoretically make that a part of your contract, like in a sneaky little, like, if I'm shooting it, I need to play it for research?
Yeah, they usually let me.
Yeah.
They don't ever. Yeah, actually they ask if you want to play.
Generally. Yeah, and the golf business is like that. And I look at Augusta, like I've got colleagues of mine that have played there once, twice, 5 times, and to hear their stories about it, like it's just a matter of time, I think, before hopefully I get the opportunity to play it. And it's just, would I have ever thought that at 34 years old I'd play the old course? No. And this year I played Royal Portrush, and I'm thinking, cool, I don't know much about it, and then I knew that it was hosting the Open next year, and I'm like, I'm gonna go play there with a friend of mine, and it was awesome. And literally the hardest golf course I've played by 10 shots plus. Like, unbelievable how hard that golf course was. So after 9 holes, I started drinking, and then after 12 holes, I stopped keeping score, and after 18 holes, I had a great day. So what is Augusta probably is the answer, but what's the best golf course you've ever played?
Royal County Down.
See, okay, now I'm mad because I could have chosen that one over Royal Portrush. Should I have picked that one?
Well, I think Royal Portrush might be second.
How hard is that golf course, though? You've played it. 1 is like the easiest hole, fairway green, 2-putt par, let's go. And then it just gets harder and harder and harder.
Yeah, it's that I could be very happy playing Portrush and Royal County Down for the rest of my life. Just those two. I don't know if you can't do much better than that. They're both fantastic.
I guess I need to go back and play there. Yeah. All right, just talk me into going back.
There's so many great golf courses, all over the world now. But those are
over Augusta, though.
Yes,
that's saying something.
Yeah,
that's saying something.
I just like that type of golf. I just like that type of golf better.
Yeah, I don't. So maybe I like Augusta better. Let's figure out how you and I can go back and play Augusta. You get the local knowledge. You can show me around.
Yeah.
So when are you gonna come shoot Tiburon? I mean, we may or may not need new photos in the next couple of months. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yeah. Okay. Just let me know. I'm coming.
I figured it was gonna be that easy. Hey,
twist my arm to come to Florida.
Have you been down here before? I mean, have you been to Naples?
Yes. Yeah.
Have you played Tiburon?
I have not.
Well, if nothing else, even if we can't get you down here to shoot photos, plan a trip, maybe in like January, February in Connecticut when it's freezing and snow on the ground, and the winters. Our winters are tough too. I mean, we have like 85-degree weather in January, February. It's sunny. The clouds don't come out. It's rough down here.
I know.
You gotta wear sunscreen. It's terrible. Now, we haven't talked much about PGA Tour golf, but you see him above me. He's actually all around me. I drive a red and black car because he wears red on Sundays, and I'm not kidding. Do you think Tiger breaks Jack's record? Why or why not?
No.
You thought about it for a while there, though. So
yeah, he may get a couple more. I don't think he's going to break it. Means he has to win 5 more. He's what? I mean, it's possible. Listen, I mean, I would never count him out. Say no. I mean, he looked really great this year. Towards the end of the year, there's a couple tournaments he could have won. I just don't think he's the same guy he used to be. He's just not the same guy. I mean, his swing looks great. Tee to green. I mean, he's not the same guy inside. I don't think. Now that could change, but.
So I had, I don't even remember how long it's been, and I feel like I mentioned him a lot. Chip Essig from the PGA of America was on this show. He's a personal friend of mine, being from the Midwest. And he said, I've asked everyone that question on this show, and I will continue until the day Tiger retires, maybe even after he retires. And he said that if he wins one more, he'll break the record. That's all it's going to take.
Okay.
He wins one more, he gets the motivation, he sees that he can do it, and he comes back. And I honestly think in the last 8 months, 12 months ago, the guy couldn't walk. And now he's swinging faster than anybody on tour, hitting the ball 330, 340 yards off the tee at 42 years old. And he looks like he's a 28-year-old man, right?
And good.
He stays healthy for the next 7, 8, 10 years. He can win at Augusta until he's 50, 52. He can win anywhere in Scotland that old. He can win at Pebble. I mean, my God, he's won at Pebble how many times? The first time he won at Pebble, he won by 12 strokes. Like, it wasn't even...
All he'd have to do, what is he, 41 now?
Yeah.
He'll be 40.
Maybe 42. I should know that as his biggest
42.
fan.
So he'd have to win one a year. If he wins one a year, he'd do it when he's 47.
But what did he look like when he was 47? What did Jeff look like when he was 35? Let alone what Tiger looks like today.
He won his last one when he was 46.
Think about that. And that was then. Now, granted, everybody says, oh, the competition is tougher and yada, yada, yada. Yeah, it's tougher because of Tiger. But Tiger has, how many times this season has he almost won? Yeah. I feel like it's every major this year. It's been, Tiger's in contention on Sunday. Tiger's in contention on Sunday. Even into the FedEx Cup, Tiger's in contention on Sunday. And he's this close. He's putting all those pieces together. He's got the Scotty Cameron back in the bag. And next year could be a big, big year for him.
I would love to see him do it.
That would be...
I hope I'm wrong.
I hope you're wrong, too, because I think he's going to do it. And your final question of your hashtag Wednesday Match Play. First off, thank you so much for coming on the show. This has been awesome talking about photography and all the stuff that you're doing. I'll make sure that I put links in the description down below of all of your stuff, and maybe we can sell some prints while we're at it. But your final question of your hashtag Wednesday Match Play is, what's next? I mean, you're probably packing your bags, going on a trip to visit somewhere and take some pictures.
Well, let's see. I like what's next for the rest of the year kind of thing.
Sure. The rest of the year? Yes. I mean, yeah.
So end of this month, going out to Arkansas to the Alotian Club. Then I'm going to Alabama to shoot. It's called the Stavia Country Club. They just did a renovation. Then I'm going back to Chicago, possibly to do a shoot there. I don't know. It's not definite. That takes me till the end of middle of October. Then I'm going out west, going back to Bandon Dunes, and then down to Pebble. And I may have a couple other shoots out there. And then in November, got a shoot in the Dominican Republic.
So you're busy. Your passport stays in your back pocket.
And like in November, December, possibly in Florida.
Awesome. That's a good time to visit.
Yes.
I'm telling you. I mean, when it's snowing everywhere else, it ain't snowing here. Last winter, it was in the 60s, and I was miserable.
I bet.
Think about that.
I know. I bet.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you again for coming on the show. This has been awesome telling your story. Scott said that you were one of the best, if not the best, golf course photographer in the world. And based on what I'm seeing, I think you're definitely on the short list. I'm going to pressure you a little bit to do that top 100 list. That'd be a lot of fun. And if I can help in any way, that'd be really neat to do.
That would be fun.
And as always, on the hashtag Wednesday Match Plays, you have to remember to eat, sleep, golf.